Okay, part 3. All right, share the screen. 1 second. Okay, can you see this okay? Okay, so let's talk about Black Moon Lilith. Again, Black Moon Lilith is this crescent moon looking thing. This in and of itself is like a 3-hour conversation. And I'm very passionate about this topic because it works with, again, ancestral healing. So these are the patterns that you willingly adopted when you incarnated in your certain bloodline. You're like, yeah, I'll work with those patterns in the DNA. I'll work with this particular trauma. Sure, I'll do that. But the thing is, there's gold in the shadow. There's gifts and talents that you come triumphantly by facing the family shadow, the family curses, so to speak. So if you wrote a list of every family curse in your entire lineage on both sides of the family, in one column, they would be, some pretty dark things. But on the other column of gifts on both sides, you'd have just as many gifts, just as many things that are empowering for you as a person, as a soul. And I strongly believe there is power in the blood. Whatever blood runs through you, you embody those talents and gifts just by you choosing that particular lineage. So it's interesting because you have Black Moon Lilith on this IC line. See the IC? It's like a thick black line. So the IC line is your family lineage line in the birth chart. So you have your shadow touching the family line. So that's saying there's some darkness there that needs to be cleared by you. And it makes your lineage particularly heavy and shadowy. It's so what that is saying is energetically, it is very powerful for you to do ancestral work. I don't know if you've already done it or you're already in it, but it makes it even more important that you do family trauma therapies. I don't know if you've heard of constellation therapy. It works with the family, called family systems or constellation therapy. It's amazing. It literally works with the bloodline. Okay. And they have practitioners all over the world. And it's actually fun because you get to act out your family's drama. It's kind of like psychodrama in a way. Yeah. Like you get to like embody your ancestor. Like, so to make it really short, because it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of info on YouTube and all over the internet, but there's some groups that meet in Sedona here that I've been to. And I'm huge into family lineage healing because that's what Black Moon Lilith is tied to, the root chakra. So there's like 15 people or so that come, and the woman facilitating it or whoever's facilitating it has an empty chair next to her, and she goes, okay, well, what is your issue? And you say, whatever your issue is, and whatever your issue is always tied to lineage trauma, always, from her perspective. Mm-hmm. And so you pick somebody in the group to act as an ancestor. So whoever you're guided to, and you'll know immediately, oh, that person. And the person steps forward, and the person then acts out in their body. They're like, it's like mediumship. Uh-huh. They're totally like, okay, I'm in service to you and your lineage. So they take a moment and they feel into their body what your ancestor is doing. And they'll do a pose of your ancestor, like your ancestors like on their hands and knees crying or whatever. And they'll act out what happened in your ancestry of why you're going through this trauma in your life right now, because there's no time and space. It's like it affects your life now because it runs so deep in your subconscious. So then the facilitator picks different people in the group to act as different characters. Like this is your grandfather. This is, even if they're dead, they can still act out, obviously. So anyway, it's really fun stuff. And it's kind of a creative way of healing ancestry trauma. Anyway, so the IC is the ancestral line, which is connected to the fourth house. And the fourth house is your family's land. It's your ancestry. It's your bloodline. The fourth house is the house and home. And the opposite line, which is called your MC line, is your career line. So your career line is connected to the 10th house. The 10th house is the father and the fourth house is the mother. So I would highly recommend you research more about Black Moon Lilith conjunct the IC. Okay, so let's see. I have a PDF that I found like 10 years ago that I use for talking about Black Moon Lilith because it's such a deep topic. And we have like a half an hour left. So are you up for it?
Sure.
All right. This is the thing in your life that repeats over and over and over because it's lives in your root chakra. It's your family lineage fear. It's not even your own fear, but it's the thing that you've contracted to work with and to heal in your bloodline. So I'm going to pull up this PDF. Give me one sec. Sorry, my computer's being slow. All right, so I'm going to share the screen so you can see this PDF. So this PDF is actually pretty amazing. This woman, her entire life purpose was studying Black Moon Lilith. She was an astrologer and an astronomer. And she noticed one day there's a big black void in the sky. And she studied it for like 25 years. And she started channeling this information because as above, so below, all the celestial bodies affect us, whether consciously or subconsciously. This whole entire universe is built on energy and patterns. So this black void in the sky represents something so subconscious that we have no idea it's there. And so this black void travels through, it's like the shadow of the moon, and it follows the moon. And so wherever Black Moon Lilith sits in your chart, it represents something so deep and so hidden that we don't know is there until we have someone to mirror that, which is the other, like relationships are just mirrors. And what's funny is, not so funny, is our romantic partners are ultimate mirrors for us. They show us all the things we hate about ourselves and all the things we love about ourselves. So the universe has jokes because it goes, well, you can't really see your shadow unless you have an other that shows you the mirror. So your partner shows you your shadow, whether consciously or unconsciously. So our job is to make our shadow conscious and to stop projecting our trauma, our shadow issues onto our partner. And this is what the shadow work journey of astrology teaches, is to identify what your shadow is and what your issues are, and to stop projecting them onto your partner. And it's your partner's job also to do the same thing. So it takes a really powerful two people to do this work. This is how relationships can really withstand the test of time, is when two people are able to look at their shadow issues and to work through them together, and to admit when they're wrong, to admit when, you know, I'm sorry, I was processing my trauma, da, 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 da. But anyway, it's the act of partnership is, in my opinion, the quickest way to enlightenment, because you guys are literally mirroring each other's traumas and each other's stuff. So you can be a hermit on top of the mountain all your life to try and reach enlightenment, but without the mirror of seeing your own subconscious, it's far longer to reach enlightenment than it does in partnership. That's why partnerships are so damn rewarding and painful at the same time. They show you they're the ultimate mirrors to your soul. So yours is in Pisces. So I'm gonna share, let's see. I'm gonna put back the chart so I can more clearly show you what I'm talking about. So notice your Black Moon Lilith right here. It's 25 degrees in Pisces, in the constellation of Pisces, and it's in the third house. So this is how your core fear operates. It operates in a Piscean way, which Pisces rules Neptune in the 12th house. It's very hidden by nature. Pisces is a water sign. Pisces is all about emotion. Pisces energy is the most psychic sign of the zodiac. So you have your shadow side in the most psychic part of the chart. So people with Black Moon Lilith and Pisces are very psychic. Like, it's almost like you have your light side, your light personality, and your shadow side, kind of like Jekyll and Hyde. So we have our conscious personality. So your conscious personality is the sun, and your sun is in Scorpio. So you have this conscious personality, Scorpio, which is deep and mysterious and loving and passionate and all these Scorpio things. And then your shadow side is Pisces. It's psychic. It feels the emotions of the whole collective. It feels intensely. These Pisces people are the people that cry for the whole. They cry for the injustices of the world. They internalize in their own body collective pain. So let's now look at the PDF and talk about what having Pisces in Black Moon Lilith means for you. So can you see this PDF? Yep. Okay, so as you can see, if you are a human you have a core fear to work through. Every single human has ancestral trauma that they embody, that they're healing. There's no one that can escape having Black Moon Lilith in their chart. It works with the root chakra, it works with the lineage. There's no way around it. It's how the human species works. And this is, as a collective, what we're all purging from the planet right now with that North Node or South Node in Scorpio. We're all doing this Black Moon Lilith shadow work, which is working with ancestral lineage, trauma, baggage, whether it's, and you've heard the term demons. When I say demons, I'm not saying like Hollywood movies, scary. Demons are just another word for trauma. And everybody has some kind of ancestral demon that they battle with that's causing them suffering in this life. Anything that takes your energy and zaps your energy, drains you in any way in your life, is your personal demon that's connected to your lineage demon. So some people have lineage demons of addiction. Some people have lineage demons of abuse. Some people have lineage demons of sexual abuse. Some people have lineage demons of poverty. Whatever it is, when you work on this within yourself, you're healing your entire lineage. So this is a big thing to work with. It's a big energy. So what I'm saying is, it takes a really powerful person to agree to do this. And you've agreed to do this. So you're a very powerful person, and the universe knows you can do it. Otherwise, you wouldn't even have come here in the first place. If you knew you couldn't handle this, you wouldn't have even come. So you can handle it. And you have so many other people doing this work also that can support you through it. Okay, so back to you. So you have Pisces. Black Moon Lilith in Pisces manifests as fear, vulnerability, and harm. So I'm going to read a little bit about it. And if you want this PDF, I'll send it to you. It's only 94 pages and it's life-changing. Okay. It's like a manual for your initiations. It's a really good read. It's amazing. It talks about the other side of the initiation, the spiritual surrender of the Black Moon, which is what you're in right now. You're in your initiation. Then it goes through all the signs. So if you looked up your husband on astro.com, it's free. You could then identify what his core fear is, and you guys could help each other out. And you guys could talk about it and have this, turn this into a really healing adventure together.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just goes through all the signs, shadow of security. So yours is, because Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, it's the last section. Okay, Black Moon and Pisces. Can you see this okay?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, so the theme for people with Black Moon and Pisces, which Black Moon Lilith takes 9 months to transit, to move. 9 months is symbolic of birth. So when she goes around the zodiac, it's literally like your birth in that area of your chart every time she moves. Real fast, let me show you the chart again to show you where she is right now for everybody. Black Moon keeps moving. And you'll have something called a Black Moon Lilith return, where it's another initiation for you, where you're facing ancestral karmic pain. But she's right here right now. She's in the constellation of Cancer. You have a really long time before she comes to get you. But it's hitting your 7th house of partnership. So this is affecting your partner more than it's affecting you right now. And we could talk about that.
Okay.
So Black Moon in Cancer, in the constellation of Cancer, she manifests this fear of abandonment. So it could manifest as your partner is fearing abandonment from you. It could be your partner is experiencing fear of abandonment from the world. Everyone, but essentially everybody on some level for the next, because it just got there a couple weeks ago. It's got like 8.5 more months of this collective fear of abandonment. So everybody will be feeling this on some level. I feel abandoned by the universe itself. I feel abandoned by my partner. I feel abandoned by my mother. I feel just that. You'll see that theme in the whole collective. And this is why Black Moon Lilith is a powerful point in the sky that highlights our fears. So I like to track her so I know what kind of issues we're dealing with as an astrologer. Okay, this is what we're dealing with for 9 months. Okay, so I'm gonna share back the
And
PDF.
the green outer circle moves in a counterclockwise direction, I assume.
Let's see here. So yeah, it was just in Gemini.
Right.
And so yeah, it moves counter.
Okay.
So the planets, that's a good question because the planets move, let's see. Yeah, because this would all be counterclockwise.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to share the screen to the PDF again. Okay, so back to you personally. So again, this is hitting your 3rd house in Pisces. So you have the shadow of trust. Primary fear is fear of vulnerability, self-judgment based on how stable one's emotions are. Issues, trust issues. Projection, distrust of people who are too nice because they want something. Goals, to let down your walls with the appropriate people. To be able to discern who is appropriate for you, to focus on self as much as others. So this is a big thing because Piscean energy wants to save everybody. Because Pisces archetype is the people with strong Pisces, which you have strong Pisces because your Lilith is here. If you have like sun, moon, or rising in Pisces, it makes you someone who, again, cries for the whole and wants to save everybody. And to what expense? They basically abandon themselves to focus on everybody else, what they could do for everybody else while they ignore their own health and their own well-being. So it's just saying that's part of your goal in this life is you have tons of resources and tons of gifts to help everybody else, but you need to learn to be on your own stage and do for you more than you do for others. So manifestation. The Black Moon in Pisces is tender-hearted. We are afraid that if others discover this, they will use it against us. There is a tendency to judge people and situations based on the potential of being hurt. We might find it difficult to be open or fully intimate with others. It is often hard to trust others when we test them until we feel safe. This shadow can show up overtly in unmistakable emotional walls, but can also show up subtly, appearing on the surface to be very open, but upon closer inspection have definite commitment issues. On the flip side, we can also make commitments before trust is gained. By prematurely trusting, we face betrayal or disappointment. In this way, a vague sense of safety is maintained since a deeper sense of intimacy is never attained. The sense of being separated from spirit is acute with Black Moon in Pisces and can lead to an intense desire to not be present in the here and now, and can lead to emotional addictions, addiction to substances, or escaping our own issues through focusing on others. So this is literally the manifestation of, I don't want to be here. You're so connected to Neptune, Pisces. So this is Earth. Neptune is way the hell out in outer space, far away from Earth. So part of your consciousness lives on Neptune. So you're a far out person. So it's natural for you guys to not want to be here because it's so harsh and tense on planet Earth and negative and unsafe and all these things. So it makes you a very sensitive person having this placement. And then it says healing and transcending. So with the black moon in Pisces, the need to put up a wall of protection must be faced. The truth is, life can be painful and people hurt us whether they intend to or not. We need to learn to trust the people we know we can trust. Usually this is the person we are with the most, but proportionally open up to the least. We tend to hold ourselves back, but this is a crime against our souls because we are naturally closest to spirit and have much to share with others. Our shadow is healed when we trust that we are strong enough to withstand any offense. And then it suggests, and this is part of the fun homework, because I'm sending you this PDF, and it's good to meditate on these things, because this is something you're gonna work on your whole life. This is not something that, it's hard. Like, give yourself permission to go slow. So these are good things to ask yourself and meditate on. Is ask yourself when you feel most vulnerable. In what situations do you cross your arms and cover your chest? How do you cover up or cover over who you really are? And then it suggests, consider who you physically, intellectually, spiritually, and emotionally open up to the most. It is important to look at the level of trust you have in the people around you and honestly assess if your trust is well placed. Balancing the shadow of trust is just as much about not placing trust in the people that you know you shouldn't, as it is about allowing someone else to see who you really are. And then some random people, Gerald Ford and Judy Garland. Okay, so now let's read it in the houses. So this is how the shadow manifests in your life over and over and over again. And this is shorter. The house in which a natal black moon is located enables us to pinpoint how the shadow will manifest in our lives. The house placement shows the context in which the shadow issues will predominantly play out. Essentially, the natal home of the black moon shows the area of life where the shadow is deeply ingrained and where we will face our greatest persistent challenges in life. However, true to the black moon's dualistic nature, she also brings a great gift to this area of life. So yours is in the third house. The third house, again, is connected to Gemini and Mercury. The third house is communication. It's siblings. It's short distance travel, like going to the town over and back. It's your neighbors, but it's most importantly how you communicate and your left brain faculties. So analytical left brain thinking is the third house. It's how you process information and analyze the world around you. Okay, so black moon in the third house, the greatest challenges of the shadow are deeply related to self-expression. The shadow side is ingrained in rigid attitudes and strong opinions that can cause us. Did you say something?
No.
Okay. All right, so the shadow side is ingrained in rigid attitudes and strong opinions that can cause us an endless amount of trouble. At times, there is an overwhelming confusion about the direction we want to take in life. Early life has a more profound effect on us than others. The outgrowths of childhood weave their way through later life in the most resolute ways. Issues with siblings can linger throughout adulthood. Gift. The gift of the shadow is our uncanny, exacting powers of observation and communication. These talents can be applied in a multitude of ways. Also, our accuracy in perceiving situations gives us a definite advantage of life. What do you think about that?
I think it's pretty spot on. I totally see it. Yeah.
Cool. And that's why I love astrology. Now, let's read the transiting, the green transiting body over the 7th house.
Okay.
See what that's about. I mean, there's a huge mythology. Have you heard about Queen Inanna of Heaven and Earth and her sister Eric Spiegel? So this is ancient Sumerian legend. This story has been around since the beginning of time. So they use this mythology in this PDF, and it's very well written, and it's in a way where it just really sinks in, the way they use this mythology. But in short, Queen Inanna is symbolic of our conscious mind, which is only 10% of our brains. Like, you've seen an image of an iceberg, or just the tip of the iceberg is our conscious brain, that we think we have control over life, but we don't.
Right.
We only have 10% that we can control. That other 90, 80 some percent is underneath the surface of that iceberg. And that's all the subconscious mind. So all of that information, we don't have control over. And that's in the subconscious, in the iceberg, in the depths of the water, lives all this information, past life, future life. It's connected to source. It's connected to our ancestry, our spirit guides, the spirit realms. I mean, all of this information is there for us to explore in the subconscious. So that's what shadow work is exploring that subconscious and like a scuba diver, diving into the depths of our own unconscious mind and seeing what lives beneath the surface. So they use the analogy of this mythology to describe the different parts of the brain. So Queen Inanna of Heaven and Light, again, is just the tip of the iceberg, just the conscious mind. And then Queen Eric Spiegel, Queen of the Underworld, her realm is the subconscious mind. So anyway, it's a really fun story talking about the initiations we go through of exploring our own subconscious.
Okay.
Sometimes we have no choice, and those are called initiations. But yeah, it talks about spiritual surrender, initiation. It's really powerful PDF. It saved my life. That's why I share it. Mirroring, people will mirror your shadow issues to you. Reasons of death and rebirth, judgments, we judge people, transits. Okay, transiting, black. So let's read 7th house. There's a couple other things I want to read too about shadow work in here. I just thought of. All right, so Black Moon transiting the 7th. And again, this will be another 8.5 months of this. This is important. So as the Black Moon transits the 7th house, our partnerships are being recreated. A shadow is cast over our relationships, causing us to reevaluate the nature of those relationships and the associated levels of commitment. During this transit, we become intimately aware of what is missing from relationships and what is most important to other people. Separations, breakups, and divorces can occur under this transit. However, it is common for a person to experience a quick rebound that often leads to a relationship that is more fulfilling and lasting. So I'm not saying that this is a definitive, yeah, you're definitely going to get a divorce during this transit. I'm saying that you're becoming very aware of what is missing.
Oh yeah. No, it was just about a week ago where I had this giant epiphany and I was like, blah, 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 that's what it is. And I'm done. I'm tired of this. Yep.
So this could go a few different ways. One, you stay in the relationship and do nothing and you're miserable. Two, you both agree to go to couples counseling and you both look up your Black Moon Lilith and you both work through these issues together under the advisor of a counselor, which is powerful. And then the third option is you leaving the relationship and trusting that it leads to something more lasting and fulfilling. This is extremely painful to go through because you have to choose between what you want and what the other person wants. And sometimes you have to be selfish, otherwise you end up miserable. So by taking note of what is very keenly unfulfilling in the relationship and having a conversation, an open-hearted conversation around, hey, I'm not happy in this area at all. We need to change this. Or we have to shift something so we can grow together because your relationship is just mirroring you. So it's a really hard, like, fork in the road to be at. So there's a amazing transformation that happens though when you could stick with it. I mean, when both people can really look at their shadow issues on a deeper level and apologize, I'm so sorry I haven't given you what you needed, and I'm sorry I did this. And there's this amazing like forgiveness, and you can move past it and let go of old things. It causes a complete rebirth of the whole relationship. And it's powerful when two people can work through their shadow shit together. And it's rare. So that's brings me to the next part of this is true love in Black Moon Lilith, which is a whole section on it, but I'll read a little bit of it. Okay, Black Moon and True Love, Chapter 7. How can something as dark as a shadow tell us anything about something as beautiful as true love? The Black Moon does because she outlines our heart's desires. When someone offers you the one thing your soul seeks, it is like a reunion with spirit. True love is what heals the feeling of separation from our source, which we know is the root cause of our primary fear in life. For example, a woman with Black Moon in Capricorn has a primary fear of neglect and of not being acknowledged. When she meets someone who voices recognition of her efforts, talents, and preferences, interests, etc., the void is filled and she feels that she is truly loved. We are supposed to provide for ourselves what we feel we lack. But it is natural for us to fall in love with whoever offers us a feeling of wholeness. But problems arise when we expect others to give us everything we need. There are always two sides to the Black Moon, and if we rely on our loved one to resolve our shadow issues for us, true love will erode. The Black Moon will giveth and she will taketh away. If anything, when one is gifted with true love, it is even more important to resolve the core fear of the shadow. True love resists restrictions, and if we relegate the responsibility of our personal shadow solely to our partner, the relationship will not withstand the strain. And it is tragic when true love is suffocated by neediness. So there's a whole little love story about Queen Inanna of Heaven and Light. She looks around, she's on her throne. I'll just simplify this long story. She's on her throne of heaven and light, and everything's perfect. But one day she looks around and she's miserable because everything's boring and it's just too perfect, and there's no depth, and her husband is never around, and she's not satisfied with her life. So she goes to visit her sister, Erikskiegel, Queen of the Underworld, to see in the subconscious what she truly wants out of her life. So she has to go through the 7 gates of initiation, which represents the 7 chakras, to basically be reborn, to die and then be reborn, to take off what she thinks she is. So by the time she arrives at the last gate, she's naked and vulnerable, and she's now ready to see the truth of her life. So she has a realization while she's down there that her husband has not been faithful. And her husband, and I'm no way, shape, and form projecting this, I'm just saying this is one little story, is she figures out that he's worthy of true love, and this wasn't true love. And this person didn't want to grow spiritually with her. So she goes through her initiation in the underworld, and when she comes back up to her domain of heaven and earth, she discards him. She gets rid of him. He's not been a faithful partner. He doesn't want to grow with her. He's not a true soulmate. And then she discards him. She lets him go, moves on. Now it talks about her sister, which their marriages are in complete contrast. Since Erikskiegel and her husband live in the underworld together, they're always looking at something deeper. They're always self-aware. They're like both psychologist brains, right? Where they're always analyzing and they're growing together, and they have this beautiful true love dynamic because both of them are constantly looking at their own issues, and they're growing together spiritually, and they actually have the most passionate, profound love story of the whole Sumerian pantheon. So it teaches us that if 2 people can go down into their underworld and look at their shadow shit and heal their trauma without having the other one heal it for them, you have to do this alone. You have to do this within yourself. If 2 people can do that, they will have the most passionate, solid, for the long haul relationship than anyone else around them. So it teaches us that it takes 2 people to want to do this work. And it's very painful when only one person wants to do this work and the other one doesn't. So then you have no choice but to leave the relationship and then manifest someone who wants to do that deep work of the soul. So it's a very painful initiation. These are painful questions to ask yourself. So now I'm going to read, and it's very short, just the true love in Pisces. Right, so with the black moon in Pisces, we have a core fear of vulnerability. We know true love when we are with someone we feel we can truly trust. A partner's infidelity is particularly hard for us to overcome, as is a partner who changes colors once they're committed. We have a difficulty discerning who is appropriate for us and can conveniently overlook obvious red flags during the dating stage. So that's all. It's like a very short, we really know that we're with someone that we can in for the long haul when we can truly trust them. If you can't truly trust them, you have to face that and ask yourself, well, can I forgive them? Can we actually have a conversation where they don't talk? You can even tell them, all right, I need 10 minutes to talk. I need to say this, and you just don't talk, please. I need you to listen. And just tell them, like, it really hurt me when you did this. Makes so I can't trust you. And because I can't trust you, that means I can't fully let down my guard, and I can't fully take down my walls and be vulnerable around you because I don't ultimately trust you. So in order for me to trust you, you have to apologize, and you have to promise to never do that again, or you have whatever, or I need you to step up and do this, or I need you to change this or, work on this within yourself. But these are the very intimate and important conversations you need to have at this point in your life with this transit. And if you meditate on it and you decide that there's nothing you can do to get you to trust them, no matter if they apologized or changed something, or if you really come to that conclusion that there's nothing they can do to get you to trust them, that is your job then to leave the relationship and trust that you'll find somebody more in alignment with your highest and earthly good. Because you have thousands and thousands of soulmates. It's called a soul group. This isn't your only person in the world. Soulmates come in the thousands. So if it's not this one person, there are many other people out there that you've known before that want to grow with you on a deeper spiritual level. But it's a very, very painful question you have to ask yourself. Can I actually work through this? Do I actually want to work through this? Or am I just deeply unfulfilled and I know in my heart that this isn't who I want to grow old with? Because you have to really think about, do I want to grow old with this person for the rest of my life? That's a big question. So how do you feel about all that?
No, I thought, like I said, I mean, it's pretty spot on. I mean, a whole bunch of stuff in this last few weeks has really just kind of come to light, and I'm pretty tuned into myself, so a lot of it I was kind of already doing some of that work. So, but there's also just been so much chaos with moving and getting organized and all these things blowing up that I wasn't expecting. So I'm distracted, and it's hard for me to focus on a lot of these things. But no, it's very accurate as to what's going on.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there was one other thing, I wanted to read with the Black Moon Lilith thing. I think it was, because it's on the IC, it's on your family lineage line. And I want to see if that's in here.
Oh, yeah.
That's really important to see how it affects your lineage stuff.
Does it touch on like children and your relationship with your children?
Well, that's all fifth house. So your North Node's in the fifth house. So you're learning how to have good relationship with your children. Like the North Node is what you're learning, and fifth house is children and your inner child.
Okay.
So I would research North Node in the fifth house, and it would explain more of that. However, I recommend astrology books over the internet because there's a lot of garbage out there.
Yeah.
But you have strong intuition, so you'll find the information you need. More on that, but definitely research North Node in the fifth house.
Okay.
Natal North Node. Let's see. So, excuse me. Okay, so, chapter 4 is page 43. There it is. Okay. So you're born with Black Moon conjunct your IC line, and IC stands for Imum coli, which is a very awkward name, or medium coli, but for short, it's the IC line, which is your lineage line. So it's those conjunctions and oppositions to the IC and MC, which is the opposite midheaven. So conjunction to the IC pose special challenges for us. More effort is required on our part to achieve our goals and actualize our potential. As chronic late bloomers, we may need additional time to determine career paths. We enter adulthood more slowly than others. As we begin to heal our shadow side, the effect that is spent in states of inertia can be redirected towards forward motion. So this is saying there may be times in your life where you're feeling like the inertia, like this, it's almost like you're walking through molasses, where like what you want seems farther away than where you are. And it's almost like this giant, energetic, just heavy energy from where you are to where you want to be. But of course, because you're older, you've already worked through most of this. So this doesn't really affect you as much later in life. But if this still feels like it's there, the more you work on your Black Moon issues and be learning to be more vulnerable and open, learning to say what you need, like getting your needs met, learning to give to yourself more, basically working on your Black Moon Lilith dissipates this inertia to where you can reach your goals quicker. So it's actually a pretty profound thing. So the more you do deeper inner work, the more you truly like manifest what you need quicker and dispel this heavy, dense energy of inertia that keeps you feeling stuck in any way. So it makes it kind of more important to do your shadow work and to meditate with the Black Moon in Pisces, because it makes you really psychic and you have tons of gifts to share with the world. More so than most people anyway. I think that's about it. I mean, again, it's 94 pages of gold. This PDF is amazing. So I'll send you it and you can read more about the story of Inanna. And so I'm going to stop the share and then go back to the chart.
And if you could also send me any referrals you have for that constellation therapy in Sedona or wherever.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that in August.
Yeah, I definitely will. Let's see. So let's see. Do you have any final, like, I mean, you could go on and on with astrology. It's
right. What is this little crosshairs thing over? Is it 21 underneath Scorpio?
Oh, these things.
The little, it looks like a target in a scope. Nope.
Oh, yeah.
Going down. Next house in the first house.
This thing.
Yeah.
That's your Pars fortune. Pars fortune is your lot in life. It's, notice the word fortune. What's really cool is this is your natural lot in life. You're naturally abundant and gifted in this area of the chart when you focus on this area of the chart. So you have Pars fortune in Sagittarius in the first house. You could do more research on that, but it's saying that the more you focus on yourself, because the first house is the self.
Okay.
I, me, my. The first house is ruled by Aries and Mars. It's very self-centered, not in a negative way, but self-focused. So your chart is saying the more you focus on your own self, your own spirituality, your own being on a soul level, the more gifts come into your life. So it's another part of your chart that's asking you to be more selfish, to learn how to develop a stronger sense of self, and your whole world opens up and there's gifts there. So for example, if you say to the universe, just by having that intention of, I want to go to constellation therapy to work more on myself, then the universe will just open up free money, free what other just things open for you related to self-discovery. So that's your gift, is all the resources just appear. People, places, things, money, connections, anything related to self-discovery is your lot in life. So it's important that you pay more attention to the self and learn to be more selfish.
Okay.
And also in Sagittarius, because that's your rising, it's important for you to travel. It's important for you to long distance travel. Not like Gemini, where it's like up the street or a town over, but long distance travel, out of state, out of country. And there's a lot of, that's how you shine, because your ascendant is your rising sign. So you really shine when you're traveling. You really shine when you're out in nature, because Sagittarius is nature. It's the philosopher, it's the teacher, it's the spiritual teacher. It's all to have to do with spirituality, occult knowledge. And a huge part of the Sagittarian rising's life is traveling, whether inwardly, like astral traveling, meditation, or externally, long distance traveling, taking trips. And then it's saying that's because your Pars Fortune is in Sagittarius, is that's your lot in life also. That's your gift. That's things open up for you when you travel, when you focus on yourself. When you are experiencing inner turmoil, it's actually good for you to go to a different state, or go to a retreat, or go to a talk. Like you could go to like a motivational speaking. It's good for you to leave home to get a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And it's difference between running away from yourself and running towards yourself by doing like retreats and traveling. So that's a completely different energy, and it's important. You get the most profound realizations when you travel, and you're like, oh yeah, like it just puts things into perspective easier. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. There's so much. Is there anything else that
that was just the one that stuck out to me. What's the difference between the blue lines and the red lines?
Okay, so bottom, because I'm sending you this page in an email. So F is for fire. So all your fire planets and asteroids. A is for air, E is for earth, W is for water.
Okay.
So I would say you're water dominant as your primary element. So I would call you like a water witch. Like that's your dominant element. And I would work with water, like have a fountain in your house, things like that. And then C is for cardinal energy.
I have a pool. That's the one thing. One thing about this house is I got a pool. So yeah.
So being a dominant water person, you need to be around water. You need to be in water. Also swimming could be meditative for you. Things like, yeah, so water. C is for cardinal. So then these are called the modes, and these are different energies you embody. Everybody has a primary mode. Your primary element is water, but your primary mode, we count the planets. We don't count the asteroids. So let's count. We got nothing in cardinal. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 planets in fixed energy, and then mutable 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's tie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So your energetic signature is a mix between fixed energy and mutable energy. Fixed energy, like to put all of these modes into perspective, a good analogy would be with if I called you on the phone and I said, hey, Marie, do you want to go out to eat? And if you do, where do you want to go? The cardinal dominant person would say, let's go here. Like it knows exactly what it wants. It knows exactly what it's going to order. It doesn't have a problem initiating and demanding what it needs. It's like, yeah, let's go here. And then the fixed person says, well, let's go to the same place we always go to. And then I'm going to order the same thing I always do because it's reliable and I know I like it. And then the mutable person says, well, let's go anywhere you want to go to. Wherever you want to go is fine. So you're a mixture energetically of fixed, where you're set in your ways and you like what you like and you're reliable and you're stable and you're grounded. And then there's a part of you that's mutable, that's very, it goes with the flow. It's people pleasing. It's kind of goes along to gets along kind of thing. Doesn't really state its needs. It's like happy with whatever else that makes people happy. So it's a mixture of fixed, mutable. Okay. So if you put those together, fixed water is Scorpio. Mutable water is Pisces. So energetically, as you can see again in the chart, you are, the totality of your being is a mixture between Scorpio and Pisces. So I would meditate with both of those archetypes because that's what you embody the most. And they're both water. So the realms of the emotional body is your realm, the emotions. Now you scroll down here to the end of the paper. And all of this maybe looks like Chinese, but these are called aspects. This is a 3-hour conversation also, but it's how the planets communicate with each other. So this is what creates inner conflict. It's one planet wants to do this and the other wants to do this. So these are how the planets communicate with each other. So these are also gifts and talents, challenges. So all the squares in your chart represent challenges. All the trines represent an easy flow of energy. It's like a natural gift and talent. It's easy for you. The oppositions, they look like a pair of sunglasses. This is 2 planets are opposing each other and you're learning how to meet in the middle with it. You're learning the opposite polarity. And then we have junction, which looks like an orange with a straw in it. It means 2 planets, and it means power. They're working together. And then you have weird things like a semi-square and a semi, and all that. They call them minor aspects and major aspects. So these are actually really fun for you to research. And there's a book, I got it here. It's Astrology, A Cosmic Science by Isabel Hickey. And it talks all about the aspects. It's about everything. It's an easy beginner astrology book. The woman is now passed on, but I love the fact that it's a woman astrologer. And she was very brilliant. And so this book that I got on Amazon for like $20 or less teaches all about, you could literally look up the aspects. You could look at your chart and be like, okay, well, what does the sun conjunct the moon mean? It means you're born on a new moon. When the sun conjuncts the moon, that's new moon. If the sun is opposing, that means full moon. So you're born on a new moon. So you're starting something. Your energy is you're initiating something new. That's your energy. New. All right, so what is the moon conjunct Mercury? It means your mind and your emotions are touching. They're working together. Your mind and your heart are working together. Things like that. So you literally scroll down, or you like go down and then across is how you read. Okay. So Neptune, sextile, Mars. Anyway, there's so much information just in the aspects. They're amazing. I mean, past life gifts and talents are in there. I love aspects.
Very cool.
So the point is, to make a long story short, all the colored lines are associated with the angles, which are the aspects. So the opposition is the red, and sextiles and conjunctions are the blue lines. So look, you have Pluto opposing Saturn, red line. You have all these things conjuncting, so they're all blue. They're all touching each other. There's a party happening in your 12th house.
Yeah.
You have what we call a stellium in the 12th house. A stellium means when you have 3 or more planets, not asteroids, planets in a house. It means your soul is very focused on this part of the chart that has 3 or more planets. So you have 3 or more planets in the 9th house. So you have a stellium in the 9th house and you have a stellium in the 12th house. These 2 houses are the most important focal points in your life. So I would study the 9th house and I would study the 12th house. They're very important houses for you in your life. Okay. So I'm going to end it with that because we literally could go on and on and on. And I will send you the information and the charts, but because my internet is slow, it's going to take me a little bit longer to send you the videos, if that's okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so I'm going to stop the share and stop the recording.